Welcome to Cooking with Jada and Daddy. Today we're going to be making our own take of Texas-style potato skins. Hope you like it. First, we're going to heat the oven to 450 degrees. First, get all of your ingredients and your cooking tools.
Hi there. First thing we're going to do is pierce the potatoes, and then we're going to be cooking them in the microwave for 20 minutes to soften them up. We're adding onions to our potato skins, so first thing we're going to do is peel and chop the onions just like this. And however you want to put them in your recipe, but we like to do this so that they're not too big for the potato skins. And then we can just cook them up just like that. We're going to caramelize them. It takes about 45 minutes on low heat. And then we're going to add some other ingredients to make them delicious.
Now that I've peeled our onions, now I'm going to dice them up and throw it in the pan.
Now that we've got the onions diced and put in the pan, we put a generous amount of butter in there. Do what you want. We're going to caramelize these for about 45 minutes on low heat till they're a nice golden brown to add flavor to the onions. Now we've had the potatoes in for 20 minutes. We pierced them with a fork so none of them explode. So if you want to look in there, we've got them. We want to check them and make sure that be careful, they're hot. We want to make sure that they're a little bit soft. If they're hard, then they're not going to make good potato skins. So we may have to cook a few of these a little bit longer, but we'll take out the ones that are ready.
Hey Dad.
Yeah.
Now what do we do with the potatoes?
Now that we've got the potatoes out of the microwave, be careful. They're going to be really, really hot. So you can either leave them for a half hour to let them cool down, or put on a glove. And I like to get them so that they cool a little bit quicker. This glove's huge, but then I'll cut them in half and I'll just let them steam out and cool a little bit quicker while I'm doing other things. So now our onions have cooked for about 10 minutes. We're stirring occasionally to make sure that they don't stick or burn, and we're getting them all to come apart so they cook evenly. So these aren't ready, so take a look. These aren't ready. They're going to turn a golden brown after, and I'll show you when they're ready. So we've taken some more potatoes out of the microwave that we've cooked thoroughly. So notice this one, it came apart. I didn't pierce it enough, so the steam exploded a little bit. So always be careful, make sure that you pierce your potatoes so that all the steam can get out. Now we can let them cool and get on with our recipe. Now that we've got the potatoes cooled off, we're gonna scoop them out and make the potato skin. So I just take a spoon and I go around and I gently scoop out the center of it. This one's a little bit hard, but we're going to recook these in the oven a little bit.
So what are you going to do with the leftover potato?
That's a good question. So what we do with the extra potato is make something that you like mashed potatoes. So we're going to do simple mashed potatoes so that we don't waste any of the extra potato that comes in, and that'll be good for dinner.
The secret to good mashed potatoes is a generous amount of butter and some salt and pepper. The butter that we use is Kerrygold.
And we like to keep it simple.
Yeah. Now I'm going to add some salt and pepper and mash them together.
Mix them up good.
Yep.
Hi there, we're about 30 minutes into the onions. So they're starting to wilt a little bit and look a little bit soggy, which is good. We're gonna cook all the water out of them. I may turn them up a little bit more at the end for a little extra brown, and then we'll add some of our secret ingredients in here to make them really delicious. Okay, so we're gonna prepare the pan for the potato skins because we're actually gonna cook them in the oven and brown all the tops. So what I like to do is take a little olive oil or avocado oil, spray the pan just a little bit. You don't need too much. Then I'm gonna take some sea salt, and I'm just going to put a nice little dribble all over the pan. And what that's going to do is when I put the potato skins face down on that, we're gonna get a nice salted rim on that, but not too much because we don't want it overpowering. So next thing I'm gonna do is take the potato, just brush the edges smooth. I don't need a lot of olive oil, and I give it a nice little spray. And that'll get the edges browned. And then I push it in, and I work a little bit of salt into the face of the potato. And then we just repeat that until we're done. And then we're gonna cook them in the oven at 450 for about 15 minutes until the edges are nice and golden brown and everything's delicious, ready for our content. Now we're gonna cook our potatoes at 450 for about 15 minutes. We have to be careful of the oven because it's super hot. So we just wanna get in. We're gonna dump one on top, and I'm gonna dump one in the middle. Super careful, super hot. Get a parent to help you. And then we're gonna let that and do that for 15 minutes. And pay attention to our onions now, and we'll wait for that to do its magic. Now our onions have been in for about 40 minutes, and I know we told you before it was about 45 minutes to brown them. So they're taking a little longer. So what I've done is turned it up a little bit. But now that you've turned up the heat, you have to take care of them a little bit more so they don't burn. Because what we want is a nice golden brown, not a big burned black, yucky onion. So, not everybody likes the same kind of food. So one of our family members likes a little bit different potato skin. So he actually doesn't really like potato skin, so we're gonna try and add some ingredients that he likes. So if you wanna do your own take on whatever potato skin, try something different. So what we're doing is we've got some sausage we got from a certain beaver store, the big gas station kind. So what we're gonna do is chop this all up. He loves sausage, so we're gonna put a little bit of sausage in there, and then we're gonna put a little hot sauce and some cheese in there and mix it up for him and see if he likes it. We'll see at the end if he likes it, if we pass or if we fail. So now this is what we're looking for with the onions. They're starting to get a little bit brown. I've got it up a little bit high, but I'm gonna turn it down. So we're gonna caramelize these onions. As you can see, they're getting brown, and that's what we want. But we don't want them burnt, so you gotta be careful with the temperature and the heat and stir frequently. Now we've got the onions in a nice caramelization. You can do them more, less, depends on your flavor and your taste and whatever you like. So you can either use plain onions for this recipe, but what we like to do is kick it up a little bit. What we're gonna use today is a balsamic. So use your balsamic of your choice. It's just a reduction. And then we're gonna use a little bit of sugar. So I know everybody's saying bad sugar, don't care. This recipe's not for people that are looking for fitness. This is just for enjoyment. So we're gonna throw some sugar on there. Okay, mix it all in with the caramelization. Then I'm going to take some balsamic, and I'm going to mix it through here. A little bit of balsamic, depending on how much you like, that's probably enough. And we're going to mix it all in together. Just like this. It's a little bit nicer, and this is going to add nice flavor to the potato skin. Has a nice aroma. All the balsamic vinegar is kind of leaking out. We use a sweeter balsamic versus a tart one, so that we get nice flavor for the potato skins. It mixes well with everything else that we're going to do. So we're going to let this cook for a couple of minutes, get all that balsamic and sugar to infuse into the onions, and then we're going to put them in after. Okay, now we're going to take out the potato skins because they've been in there for 15 minutes. Watch, woo! Okay, so we've got to be very, very careful, very, very quick with this. Just take them out, put them on the counter, and what's going to happen is we're going to check them. These ones aren't quite cooked yet, so we're looking for a nice brown, crisp edge. So these ones actually we're going to put in for another, say 10 minutes and see how they come out. Now we've got the potato skins. Let's take a look. That's what we're looking for around the edges. It's nice and brown, nice and crisp. And it adds a little flavor and some texture to your potato skins for after you fill it and after you eat it. On to the next step of the potato skins. We're gonna add our favorite barbecue sauce. So you can pick whatever you want. This one goes really good with recipes, so we highly recommend it. So what I'm gonna do is add some to the potato skins just like this. I go around the edges, a little bit in the middle. Around the edge, a little bit in the middle. A little bit of the edge, and so forth. And then what we're gonna do after that is take our brush and we're gonna coat everywhere on the potato skin on the edges. This is kind of why we call them Texas style, because it's more of a barbecue stuff. You could throw these in the smoker after and add a little bit more flavor, however you wanted to do it. But we like to do it this way because we don't have a smoker yet. We're just newly to Texas from Canada, and so we're doing our interpretation of Southern hospitality. Now, we haven't forgot about our alternative type of potato skin, so feel free to mix up whatever skins you like. Try our recipe first. Tell us if you like it or not. We're gonna do a little bit of hot sauce, okay? So we're gonna do the same thing that we did to the other skins with some hot sauce. So this is probably gonna dry up in the ovens. What I'm gonna do is spread it around just like we did to the other potato skin, but we're doing some hot sauce. A lot of you out there love your hot sauces, so we know that. And if you get too much, don't worry about it. Dump it in another one, spread it around. It'll soak into the potato skin when we put them back in the oven to bake up the cheese. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw, let's do a little cheese in there. He doesn't like too much cheese, so we're not gonna load them all up. We just want that so that maybe we can stick the sausage in there a little bit. So now, generous amount of sausage. Make them yummy, make them your own. Whatever it takes. Throw that in, and then we're gonna bake this in the oven with the other potato skins and see how they turn out. Hi there, so we've had a special request with our different ones. So we're gonna do a couple plain cheese ones. So what I like to do is get a generous amount of cheese and stuff it in there. It's okay if it falls on the side, because actually what happens with the salt on the bottom, I actually leave a bit of cheese on the side like this, because what that'll do is when you broil it, it's going to bake down into this nice patty of cheese, and they're very delicious. So we'll show you that at the end. But just like that, put your cheese in, have a little bit, don't be afraid to spill.
So now I'm going to take a generous amount of onions and I'm going to put them in the potato skin and pat it down a little bit. So now I'm going to take some cheese, just like a handful like this if you want. And you're just going to put it in.
So sometimes we'll have a little bit of onions left over. What's never a bad idea is not to waste them. What I like to do, dump them into my mashed potatoes. Right? Try something different. You never know what you're gonna like. We're gonna throw that in there. We're gonna mix them around. So now, instead of just regular mashed potatoes, we've got caramelized onion mashed potatoes. So always try and think of something to do with your leftover food so that you're not wasting. Bye.
So now we're going to cook the skins. We're going to broil them for about 3 to 5 minutes, and we're going to keep checking on them so they don't burn. So now I've got them in the oven. I'm going to watch them melt until they go golden brown. Now I'm going to try the onions and potatoes.
Bam.
Keep checking. Almost there. Don't forget.
Let's check. That looks good enough for us. We'll take them out, let them cool off, and try them out. Remember that crunchy, delicious cheese we told you about? This is going to be delicious. Bon appetit. And this is the end. Here's our 3 different flavors. Cheese, sausage and hot sauce, and mixed onion Texas style. So that was our first episode of Cooking with Jada and Daddy. And this is our finished product. We hope you like them. And there'll be more episodes coming soon with new recipes and a lot of stuff that Jada and I like to cook together. This is our delicious cheese, so make sure you make some of that. And here we go. First bite, see how it is.
Really good? Yeah. And
Try it out.
we'll be making famous cookies soon, so I hope you liked our video.